Tukiendelea mbele, rais ni kuhakikishia nikiwa hapa Kirinyaga, sisi watu ya Mount Kenya, hii ni serikali yetu. Sisi tuliamuka mapema tukainvest kwa serikali ya President William Ruto. Nimesikia viongozi wengine wamepotea wakisema ate sisi hatuwezi toka kwa serikali. Sisi tutoke kwa serikali tuende wapi? Hii ni serikali yetu. Neitoka ati hito. I want to ask leaders not to make statements that confuse wananchi. That kind of nonsense should be contained within WhatsApp groups. Muongee huko. Mukifika hapa kwa mashinani, muongee lugha ambaye inaelekeza wananchi vizuri. Huyu ni rais wetu, ni sisi tulimchagua kumchagua. Tunaweza wacha yule tulichagua? Si ni sisi tulimchagua? Sisi tuko kwa hii serikali 100%, tuko ndani na hii ni serikali yetu. Negwado ito.
No. Kenya is for every other person. Kenya is not for Kirinyaga people. Kenya is not for the Kikuyu people. Kenya is not for the Kalenjin. Kenya is not for the Mount Kenya people or Mount Kenya region people. No. You did not form that government. This government is serving the interest of Kenyans. And from this statement, we can actually see how selfish you are when it comes to power. Yeah, it is us, ni yetu. Yani, that is what. No. The government is for Kenyans because whoever seated there is temporarily. Stipulated time for this person to be there. Rigathi Gachagua, you will be there for a short time. You see, some people are coming to the government. So stop telling us that sisi tuko ndani ni yetu, sisi ndio tulitengeneza. That's bullshit. Trust me, that's bullshit. It's no Kenya. I mean, the government is for Kenyans. It's not for the Mount Kenya people or for some individuals who think they have invested in the government. So the rest who are paying taxes are not investing in the government. Bullshit.
Naona rafiki yangu Rigathi Gachagua anaanza maneno. Wewe umepatiwa kiti ya deputy president. Unajua mimi nilikuwa natofautiana na yeye sana na mambo ya shares. Kenya hii tunataka ikuwe Kenya ya kila mtu. Rais akisimama Bungoma, Kisumu, wapi ikuwe Kenya ya kila mtu. Sasa yeye alikuwa anasimama shares. Na anasema watu wanapiga makofi. Nyinyi wananchi saa zingine mko na maneno. Saa hii amejiingiza kwenye moto. Ako huko ndani. Alafu anataka ahurumiwe. Sasa sijui Wamboka mbunge wa upinzani ndiye atalia ama deputy president ndiye analia. Ako huko ndani. Haron Cheruiyot, umefanya nini huyo mzee jamani? Anapiga nduru. Ile kitu mimi nataka ni advise deputy president. Tunataka pia generation nyinyi mkiekua hawa kina Haron pia usipiga hao vita. Acha wakue. Hao kina Ndindi Nyoro nasema wacha wakue. Kina Babu Owino wacha wakue. Hao ndio viongozi wa kesho. Mheshimiwa Deputy President, wacha feelings. Wacha kuumiza watu. Wewe ni Deputy President wa Kenya. Wewe sio Deputy President wa Mount Kenya. Ama namna gani? Na ukipewa wewe, sisi tulikuwa tunalia, wewe unacheka. Sasa the rich also cry. Wewe pia wanasema nguruwe ifanye nini, ijikarange na nini?
In Kenya, I want to show you how state capture works. The top 10 people in Kenya who are the richest, partly from the Forbes. One is a family I can't mention because it's known by every Kenyan. That is number one, that family. The second is the other family that I can't mention because Kenya know this family. Then the others follow. Now ask yourself, those families that I didn't mention but Kenyans know them, what industries do they operate in? It is only politics. Why? They use policies to start small companies. They use government machinery and policies to make their companies flourish at the expense of real hard-working business people.
Here's the thing.
That is why leadership in Kenya, they are in every sector. And I use an example, smart. In banking, you see, you go to banking, for example. We have many banks in Kenya. And allow me to make this point.
Very quickly, 30 seconds.
But if you look at the access of credit between President Kibaki's time and this time, I mean, you don't even need to have an answer. During President Kibaki's time, ningepata mtu wa bank hapa nje ananigojea. Nijaze form anipatie loan. What is the current situation? The current situation is fintech. People using mobile to borrow. Who owns these platforms? These are very critical points, Smart. Because I'm driving a point on state capture. Kenyans must and have a right to know when they fuliza, when they mswali. Most of the Kenyans think it is Safaricom that benefits. It is actually our leaders, some of who actually own banks in this country. So they encourage fintech, consumerism kind of borrowing, at the expense of real borrowing that actually drives the economy.
Now, planned poverty goes this way. To rule the masses, you keep them down.
Subdue them.
Subdue them. Because the more they know, the more they are aware.
You are at risk.
Yes, because then what are you offering? The advantage was that you know more, so people respect you, right? And they adhere to you being in a position. Okay, they don't question you. So planned poverty goes like this, and this is a model the Mzungu instituted, and it has been there until even the Kibaki time. 60% of Kenyans are made to worry about food. Okay? They just want food. Their dreams and aspirations, and this is one thing that Kibaki really did, educate you. That's why he was so keen on free education. Is get your child into education. Get them educated.
So that
it is a free pass out of poverty.
You liberate them.
So you liberate them. Right? Or liberate the generations to come. Okay? But if you don't achieve it, that's another hand to come and bring food. You say, maybe in the future, their children. Right? 30% are called the middle class. Lower, middle, and upper middle class. Right? And they're inculcated to believe that you're a salary away from being in the 60%. You're a major sickness away from being in the 60%. Go and take a mortgage that keeps you there because you want a house and you want your child to go to private school. Right? You want a particular insurance for your health. Right?
Yeah.
So you are made dependent on income. Instead of borrowing 1.3, which was the shortfall, right?
Yes.
I will shock you.
Kenyans will help me get shocked. Yes.
We borrowed 7.4 trillion shillings.
Wait a minute. The deficit was 1.3 trillion.
Yes.
And what did we borrow?
7.4 trillion shillings.
Okay. Continue. What was that money used for?
It doesn't appear in the budget. So you minus 1.3 to 7.4, you have about 6.3,
yes,
which is nowhere, I think it's a bit less than about 6 trillion, which is nowhere in the books.
So it's nowhere in the budget, it's nowhere?
Does not exist.
So what does that mean for us Kenyans?
Are we on the same page?
Yes.
So 6 trillion is not on the budget, because you must also borrow what is on the budget.
Yes.
6 trillion did not go and has not been shown as any item that funded development, which is the law. We even checked, is it somewhere else contrary to the law? Did it pay a salary? No. Did it pay counties? No. Our taxes went to all those other operations. So you're talking about, if 1.3 is 10 years, and above borrowing of 6 trillion is for 60 years.
So we'll be enslaved.
Which we are being told to pay now.
So you look at the law, what does it say about debt? When can a country take debt? When can we take debt and how much can we take debt for? So our laws are very clear. We can only take debt for development in the medium to long term.
Yep.
If we have cash flow problems, right? We can only take a certain percentage. In fact, they say 5% of the last audited accounts, tax returns.
Yep.
So like this year, if you collected 2.2 trillion, you can only take 100 billion cash flow, which must be paid within the same year. And normally they say you can do, in fact, it's clear there, an overdraft at CBK.
Right.
Right? But any other debt must go towards a project, a development project.
Yes.
Okay.
That is in the budget. All right? Now,
So the project must be provided for in the budget.
in the budget, and in fact, in the budget, the debt is actually shown. Anything outside of that is illegal.
Okay.
Now, just to give you a synopsis, because this is very tragic, people need to understand why they are being told to raise taxes. It's because there's a monster in the room. All right?
Yeah.
And it is this payment of this debt. It is the monster.
William Ruto has exceeded the brutality ever witnessed in this country. Just want to remind William Ruto and his regime, Bashir had a very strong and feared army in Africa. He fell. Egypt was almost a police state and very militarized. The regime fell. I want to tell you without citing more that no dictator succeeds against the people. For you, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Respect the law, because if you don't, you will still account at some stage.
So this is the point. If Ndindi Nyoro, if Jimmy Wanjigi, if Martha Karua and the other leaders knows the truth, what are they doing about this truth? How is it benefiting you? You see, you know the truth. You know there's a planned poverty. There's debts which are taken and not recorded, but Kenyans are paying. You see, Ruto comes to the ground and tells you, oh, they took loans. They are frustrated your lives. Now we are struggling paying the loans. When we went to power, there was no money. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And you clap. Ah, our president is trying. Trying. We clap, you see. Kenyans, I think we are becoming just like small kids. We like being enticed. You see, you know the formula the Europeans used to use when they want some guys to, they want to capture, or they want to, capture some guys. This is what they used to do. They come with sweets and they throw them. So once you run towards those to pick those sweets, they surround you and they pick you and take you. Just like how you can trick the animals to get into a zoo or into a cage, and then you take that is what the politicians are using till today. They come to you and tarnish somebody's name and you become happy. You know, they're always playing games. They're turning this guy's name or talking like this. You know, those instead, when somebody comes to you and is talking bad about somebody, we become very happy. Yeah. They don't talk about themselves. They don't talk about their responsibility and the failures. No. They must talk about somebody. It is somebody who has made this country fail. It is not me. No, it is somebody. You see, if we have known the truth all this long, what have we been waiting for? Or what are we waiting for? I bet you this. There's a time is coming. A time is coming when the president will seek for forgiveness and nobody will be there to forgive. The leaders who are, the politicians who are looting from Kenya and taking invest other countries, you know, use taxpayers' money to put up their own private companies, produce product and sell to Kenyans expensively. You see, there's a time is coming. You will not have chances to apologize, just like Moi did. Kama niliugozea nisamee. But why did you mess us up? See, you're messing up us today. And tomorrow somebody come try to amend the same. Why? Like, when this leader is here is messing up. When somebody come is amending the mess somebody left in the government. You see, our politicians are causing a big harm to the nation than the British, than the invaders. They are causing frustration to their own people, than the British, than the colonies. I bet we better be ruled or better be colonized than being ruled by politicians who are hungry to eat his own people than the kind of politicians Kenya is producing. Because you know the truth. You know very clear that if you do good to Kenyans, they will even give you more time to continue leading. If you do good things to Kenyans, where did humanity went? Where did we lose ourselves? And what can we do to redeem ourselves and put ourselves together again to attack? You see, we have a problem with the way we understand things, the way we perceive information as the citizens. The politicians knows that you people like being, like good news, like the president. We like when the president comes and is talking and is blaming and is promising. And you like when he says, I'll put 1 billion. I'm sure this voice is reaching so many people in the world, more especially Kenyans. I want you to hear me, please. The government of Kenya is a failed government. When I say a failed government, this is what I mean when I say a failed government. When a leader comes to the ground during campaigns and during his regime, the president or any leader comes to the ground and tells you, we are going to build roads, we are going to create employment, we are going to build markets, we are going to do this, we are going to provide money for this, we are going to. Now, I'm concerned about the 3 things. Number 1, employment, roads, education. We want to give money to education. I want you to be very keen about these statements. They have been there since independence. The president, Jomo Kenyatta, was having a problem with employment. Moi, employment. People demonstrated. Mwai, employment. Uhuru, employment. Education. Now, the current president, employment, education, jobs, same things. When a president comes in and he knows clearly this has been a struggle, this has been a talk of the town ever since independence, and we listen from the president, he speaks and we clap. How new is that in your mind? When did you know this is a political statement? When did you start knowing that this is a political statement and you emancipated from this kind of information pumped into your mind? Listen, if you don't know how to wake up, Kenya will take a long time before it grows. We cannot make US in Kenya. People need to be enlightened to be Kenyans, not to be in US, not to copy-paste the US life in Kenya. We just need to wake up to a reality that every person is guaranteed to participate for the progress of this nation. Nobody's left out, nobody's superior, nobody's minor. Every other person has a chance to participate, to add the value of Kenya. You see, nobody has ever answered this question. Why do African leaders want to eat his own people? Putting policies which degrades the dignity of people. Putting policies that favors them in anything that they do, in anything that is done. At the end of the day, the benefits goes back to them. Why is it that they have to put up some policies, some strategies, which at the end of the day channels the progress, the benefits to their pockets? taking loans, and you have to pay as the citizens. And the citizens clap for paying the taxes the debts that were not used for any project in the country. You see, can't you call that one brainwash? We Kenyans have been brainwashed. We are blind. We are short-sighted. We cannot see a problem. You see, and now, without talking much, I got to tell you this as my people, as those people are listening from this channel, that waking up is knowing the truth and start understanding that you have to start taking care of your family, start growing your family, listen from your family, grow your family, put your family together, cooperate, and start empowering your community people. When those people start understanding what is going on from the ground level, education level, political level, community, those, at least they understand what is going on, then we can liberate ourselves from black imperialism. And that is how we're going to set ourselves free. It is a journey that has to start with somebody, has to start from somewhere. For liberation to come, somebody was fed up, and the second person was also fed up. The other person followed, and that is how the Mau Mau came up and the Wazungu left this country. So if Gen Z have come with this idea of change, we need to continue disseminating this information to individuals to get to understand what is going on and wake most people up to reality that politicians are not serving our interests. Therefore, we don't need to fight them, but we need to liberate ourselves from following their statements and following what they promise us, and start building ourselves and owning the land, using the land for production, for development, for growth, for us to sustainably have enough food for ourselves, as much as we can also sell to make money. You see, understand that education has a problem, because if education tells a child that the only thing you can do in this world is to get employed, then that education is wrong. If education system is making people think that the only thing we can do is talk, but not do, that system has a problem. You see, government has a problem. If the church does not teach people to liberate themselves from the white affiliation, then that church, that religion is still in slavery and is enslaving the people. And that's why people have lost sight of themselves. And therefore we need progress, which does not come from anywhere but within.